The following program is brought to you by PodcastOne Sportsnet.
The Steve Austin Show is sponsored in part this week by DDP Yoga. Now, you guys already know what WWE Hall of Famer Diamond Dallas Page and DDP Yoga has done to help thousands of people all over the world. But now, Dallas has done it again. DDP Yoga has added DDPY Rebuild. It's a new variation of the traditional DDPY program catered toward those ages 55 plus and those with physical limitations and extremely limited mobility. The DDPY Rebuild workouts will take you from the bed to the chair and eventually to standing upright with the support of a chair. The DDPY Rebuild program is the perfect holiday gift for your parents, grandparents, or even your great-grandparents. So head over to ddpyoga.com/rebuild to learn more and pre-order the DDPY Rebuild program. Also, DDPY's massive holiday sale has been extended. You can still get 30% off all DVDs, app membership, and apparel on ddpyoga.com. You heard it right, 30% off. They've never had a sale like this one before. Take advantage of it. And there's no better time to take advantage of the DDPY program. DDP Yoga can work for all ages, weights, and fitness levels. It provides a kick-ass cardio workout with minimal joint impact. It'll have you on your way to not only changing your life, but owning your life.
The following program is a PodcastOne.com production.
He started in a small town in Texas. Worked his ass off to become one of the most famous wrestlers of all time.
We're going to take care of business tonight, and that's the bottom line.
And now he's dominating the world of on-demand audio. And he's doing it for the working man.
This is a damn good outlet for me to spew the bullshit off my brain.
Yeah! This is Steve Austin Unleashed.
All right, everybody, welcome to Steve Austin Show. I am coming to you from the mean streets of Los Angeles, California today. Sitting over here at 317 Gimmick Street recording this podcast, trying to get my ass back over to the house to watch the season finale of the Broken Skull Challenge. Holy smokes, co-ed special. Men and women out there kicking ass together, all in the name of badass, heavy-duty, bust-ass competition. I've loved hosting this show. Let's see if we get another run out of it. Congrats and thanks to everybody who came out this year at the Broken Skull Challenge. And thank you to everybody who set their DVRs and watched and supported the show. I appreciate it very much. And thanks to the toughest damn crew in the history of television for being out there on top of that mountain, out there in the desert, just like working in a big-ass hot sand blaster. What a really fun show to make. Hard work, and everybody kicked ass, and everybody gelled. Thank you to the athletes. Thank you to the crew. Hey, man, this podcast is first part, my conversation from a couple of weeks ago. I was telling you guys the legit boss, Sasha Banks, came by. Bayley, the hugger, came by. It was epic. And I tell you what, man, they rolled up in the house. I'll retell the story. And they both had SUVs, and they had Uber drivers or limo drivers, whatever it was. I walked out of my house. They were both getting out of their different vehicles. I figured they would be traveling together, trying to save some money. We'll talk about that during the podcast because these girls are all about saving money. I was like, God dang, I said, y'all both have individual cars. Y'all must be you're doing it a lot different than I did back in the day. And they started laughing. So anyway, Bayley ended up having to go to an appearance, so they couldn't ride together. And Bayley came in, and we just I hit the record button, and we talked for about 35 minutes just shooting the breeze. And then Bayley went on and did her appearance. And, you know, again, I've told this story a bunch. Sasha stuck around, and I had the podcast with her, which you heard a couple of weeks ago. And I'm just a big fan of both of these women. I just love what they do in the ring. I love their gimmicks, their personalities. I love them as people, too. They're just really nice ladies. So the first half of the podcast, you'll hear the conversation. We talk about being on the road, saving money, picking decent hotels and places to eat, and just shooting the shit with a couple of women that are in the business of pro wrestling, as I call it, sports entertainment, as they call it, that I like a whole lot. They're badass. And then on part two of the podcast, I shoot the breeze. I talk a little bit about hunting and answer some questions that you guys sent in to questions at steveaustonshow.com. And I'm heading over to Nevada in a couple of days to spend a couple of days out there riding some ATVs and UTVs out there and getting in the great outdoors. And coming up on the Tuesday podcast, I'm talking to Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Brutus the Barber Beefcake has a book available right now at brutusbeefcake.com. Strutting and Cutting, that's the life story of Brutus the Barber Beefcake. And we touch base and we talk for about an hour or an hour and 15 minutes this coming Tuesday on the show. And I'm going to have him back on. I had a lot of fun talking to that guy. I really enjoyed the Brutus the Barber Beefcake gimmick way back in the day. And I've told you this on the last podcast. And that was a great gimmick. It was an outlandish gimmick. It was over the top. And he fit it to a T. And you forget how good of a worker that guy was. He would sell his ass off, really good fire. If he's working heel, he'd get mean and have good heat, really feed a comeback. So, you know, he had that real bad parasailing accident in 1990, and we'll talk about that. But I had a lot of fun talking to this guy. And here's a guy, Ed Leslie, Brutus the Barber Beefcake. As long as we were in the business, we kind of just, while I was in WCW, he was in WWF. And then when I went to WWF, he went to WCW. So we were never really in the same place at the same time. And I had met Ed a few times here or there, but never really struck up a long, engaging conversation with him. But I had a blast talking to him. I'm looking forward to reading the book myself. I got a few of the outlines, so you can order that book. But join me and Brutus the Barber Beefcake this coming Tuesday as we shoot the breeze. And he's been on a couple of interviews in the past, but I try to stay away from some of those, and we're just shooting the breeze like a couple of boys. Like I told him, I said, dude, we're riding down the road right now, and I'm drinking a beer. And I didn't really have a beer, but I said that's how we're phrasing up this conversation. And we were on video Skype. I could see him, and he could see me. And I had a great time talking to him, and I think we're going to talk again in a couple of weeks about some of his tours and trips and matches over in Japan. So I'm looking forward to doing that. All right, that's enough about next Tuesday, Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Now, time for my conversation with the legit boss, Sasha Banks, and the hugger, Bayley.
Respect is not given.
A hearty welcome to Steve Kerr.
What a thrill to have listened to you all these years.
It is earned.
He's Basketball Hall of Famer John Calipari.
You still have the great voice of all time.
Sound of Success, the Dick Enberg Podcast.
Tennis Hall of Famer Billie Jean King.
I just hope everyone listening understands what an icon you are.
Exclusively on PodcastOne Sportsnet.
He's my all-American friend, Bill Walton.
Dick Enberg, I love you.
Get episodes every Thursday on PodcastOne and Apple Podcasts.
This is Steve Austin Unleashed.
Today's my lucky day. It's Sunday. I'm at 317 Gimmick Street. Sasha Banks, the legit boss. One of my favorite gimmicks going is right across the table from me. Bailey's to my left. Also, one of my favorite gimmicks. Two of my favorite WWE superstars. It's a bright, sunny day here in Los Angeles. I don't know what this podcast is going to be about. I didn't know Bayley was going to have to leave in 20 or 30 minutes. So we're just going to shoot the breeze and talk about life on the road. How's that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Bayley.
Yeah.
Yes. I was looking at Sasha. Bayley. Yes. Hit him with a swerve. I'm calling this in the ring. A high spot directed at a different person. Hey, I was just telling you guys, I know you guys are working Anaheim tonight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And then y'all both got Raw at Staples Center?
Yeah.
So what was the road? Y'all were on the road last night?
Yeah, we were in Salt Lake City, so we just had a flight. We got in right now, well, like an hour ago. So, and just drove over here. I don't know why they did it like that.
It was really, well, we do have random shows like that a lot.
Guess.
Yeah, but when you said you guys were going to show up over here together, I knew that you guys travel together, but I thought you guys were coming from different destinations because I figured when I started texting you, because you said you were at the On It Center.
Yeah.
Was that the day
when
before?
When you called me.
I lose track of time. I've been hitting having so many steel chairs. I don't know what's going on.
It was Friday because we didn't have a live event on Friday.
Right.
Yeah, so that's when I was at the gym, but then we flew in yesterday, like in the afternoon.
So who'd you work last night?
Myself and Sasha worked Alexa and Nia Jax. Mickey James as a special guest referee.
How did special guest referee? Did she get involved?
Oh, yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Are you guys a dynamic tag team? Because obviously you've known each other for years and have this great chemistry.
Yes, but I feel we can do more. I feel like we also haven't been told that we're a legit tag team. We just get put in random matches a lot and just do the best that we can.
I was there many years ago when I first put me and Brian together. We were in Dothan, Alabama. I was getting ready for a singles push at Harley Race. All of a sudden, Flying Brian comes up to me and goes, "Hey, man, we got to come up with a finishing move. We're a tag team now."
Yeah.
I said, "Bullshit. This is my family-friendly show, but you can say bullshit on it." I said, "No, man." I said, "I'm fixing to do a deal with the Harley Race." He goes, "No, we're a tag team." So anyway, we turned into a tag team. We were just kind of a ragamuffin type thing. We had different matching trunks and all that other stuff. Then we turned it into Hollywood Blondes. But do you enjoy working together or just being on the road? Does it take the workload off of both of you so you can kind of chill out and don't take so many bumps?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cool to like do the tag matches and stuff for relaxing our bodies, but like kind of miss doing singles every other night or so just to kind of work.
That's what I miss about NXT. I felt like we got to do different matches a lot instead of, every week it's kind of the same thing and we kind of get used to it. But that's on me too. I can switch it up in there. And I did think of a finishing move for us. We haven't done anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know why we don't do we're a tag team, basically.
No, we don't do anything.
Why don't we?
I don't know. I do have a finisher, yeah. If I do the backstabber and they come up and you grab them really, really.
Dang.
Did you think about that?
Tonight.
Okay.
See what you do?
Yeah. But it's different.
So when you guys get in the booking sheets, like it says, okay, you two versus the two women and Mickey James, y'all just mentioned on the booking sheet, or does someone talk to you guys, say, "Hey man, you guys on the road, we're gonna put you some tag matches. Are y'all cool with that?" They just tell y'all, "Hey man, this is what's up."
Kind of, yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah, they just tell us what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, and just they give us freedom, like to do what we want for the most part. If it's just a tag match, but it's always the same match.
How many matches are on the cards right now?
8 to 9. It's a lot.
What kind of time y'all getting?
About 10 minutes. It's not a lot.
Well, god dang, your entrance is 5 minutes.
Yeah,
you come down, do all your legit ball stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, when you're on the road, do they have all your inflatable stuff?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's crazy. Yeah,
really?
they bring 2 of them.
Yeah.
Or wherever they are. Sometimes they don't. One time we were in like Mexico or something, and they didn't have like the men. They just had a tube.
Yeah.
So it's just like an air tube with no arms or face or anything. It's funny, but it's cool that they actually do it on the road.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because the road's a road.
Yeah.
So do you guys? Here's the thing, man. I just walked over from next door and I see these 2 big ass SUVs, and y'all both get out. I'm like, man, superstars are doing it a little different back in the day from what we used to. Man, there's a bunch of guys crammed into a van because we wasn't making enough money. Y'all both got individual cars, so you got an appearance. Tell me about the experience.
About this appearance? Yeah. I have no clue, really. I was just texting the other day about it.
When did it get sprung on you?
Friday. I guess it's a YouTube show, and I'm going to be eating weird stuff. It sounds like a Nickelodeon show. I'm going to be eating weird stuff and then get like goo poured on me or something. I don't know.
You're going to have time to clean up before a show.
Yeah, I hope so.
And digest your food.
Yeah.
Hey, I brought some snack sticks for you from my mule deer.
Oh, okay.
I told you I was going to bring you some.
Yeah.
Since you're going to go eat stuff on a YouTube channel, and the snack sticks is actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, I'll try it. Okay. I was telling her yesterday, I was like, we're going to eat the deer he killed or something. She's like, I've had venison before. I was like, oh, yeah.
Well, Sasha, do you meat or are you a vegetarian?
No, I'm not a vegetarian. I love meat.
She's a carnivore. Vegetarian.
No.
She looks hella healthy, huh?
Do I look good?
Yeah.
Thank you. I love meat. I love animals too, but I love meat too much.
Well, I do too. I mean, I fairly hunted the animal and took the animal and had it processed. I'm eating everything but the horns and the skull.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. It didn't go through a processing plant. Yeah, that was a deer from my ranch 2 years ago.
It looks cool. I mean, I can't do it, but it looks cool.
And let me ask you guys a question about traveling again. So normally when you're not doing the superstar routine and getting, shuffling around, what are you guys doing? Because back in the day, man, we were jumping in. We were flying out of somewhere. We were flying to a hub. Say we're flying to Chicago. Mm-hmm. We'd get a rental car in Chicago. Then we might make Milwaukee, a couple other towns within 100, 150 miles, go back to Chicago, hit the next loop, or get a drop car and go from there. And so, we always piled in the car because you want to split the bill. But then when you start making a little bit of money, me being a loner, that's when you start traveling by yourself. A lot of the guys do that. Or some people will pair up. You guys kind of paired up, right?
Yeah.
Travel together almost all the time?
Yeah.
So how is this traveling with Bayley and Legit Boss? Because I was texting with Bayley. Y'all were supposed to be here about 30 or 45 minutes ago. And she said the legit boss has to make coffee. Stop.
I really needed coffee. We legit landed, and I'm like, I'm so tired. I need coffee, please.
I knew that was going to be the case, and that's why I told Bailey. I said, well, I'm kind of at you guys' mercy because I know that the deal on the road is, you're on the road. There's a lot of headaches, hassles, and stuff that go along with that. Did y'all eat before you came here?
Nope. No.
Told you we could go out and eat, but now
I
you
know.
gotta go get an appearance.
Okay. Yeah, I know. You guys could still. There's a brewery that he was mentioning that you can go to.
It's right next door. I mean, I know you guys can't drink, and I'm not going to just start drinking either, but I mean, it's a nice place to eat that's very close by to walk to.
Yeah.
So take me to the car with you guys on the road. Because when I was traveling with some guys, I mean, like, I love to travel with Billy Gunn because he's a good will man. Kevin Nash would let drive. Mick Foley couldn't let drive. DDP, hell no. There's a lot of guys that don't trust in my life riding in the shotgun seat. And then all of a sudden, if you get some prima donna car, they want to eat at some place that you don't want to. So then, okay. So take me inside your car and tell me what's up.
Well, we kind of had that experience last week. I won't mention names, but it's usually just me and Bailey. We've been, having Kalisto and Apollo jump in here and again, but it's usually we just land, get breakfast, find a coffee shop, and go to the gym, and that's it. That's our routine, like every single week, every single day. But yeah, we had that experience last week of going to restaurants we didn't really want to go to and pay for. And it was decent food. So yeah, it was okay.
Okay.
What kind of hotels y'all staying at? Back in the day, when I first started, I was living in Dickerson Pike off of, it was a Congress Inn in Nashville, and I was making like $15 and $20 a night when I first broke it. I was starving. I mean, literally, I was starving. Mm-hmm. And then, down the road with a bunch of guys, guys sleeping on the floor. Seniority always got the 2 beds. And, then we get like one of those cot gimmick beds come in. And some guys little on the floor because that's the way it was. But seniority ruled. And then, we start staying at the nicer hotels, Marriott, stuff like that. Choice of hotels for, Bailey, the hugger, and the legit boss.
Well, we always get crap from Seth. Cheap. From Seth, yeah, because we book on like Priceline. We want cheap hotels. And
of course, I would like a decent hotel, but I like cheap.
Yeah,
first of all.
3-star.
3 stars is fine.
Yeah,
and if it's somehow a 2.5, that's okay with me too.
Yeah, because if you think about it, you're only there for a few hours.
I'm not going to pay $100 a night.
Yeah,
that's not me.
Y'all are smart.
Yeah.
It's like people always say, well, when you close your eyes, it's all the same. Back in the day,
no, we've had bad experiences.
Like what kind? From roaches or like what?
It was a 2-star, right? That one that we shared.
Yeah.
And it was ghetto as hell.
Well, I don't know. It was literally like our blanket was literally like a paper towel. And the bed was so tiny. It was like, and there was this like chick sitting outside our freaking door. And there was no elevator. There's stairs, but they were like sinking in the middle. It was just terrible because we were in the middle of nowhere.
It looked like a jail cell, actually.
Yeah.
It looked awful. Yeah. And it said it was going to be like a king bed. It was like a twin size bed, and we shared. And there was like this much space in between us
with a paper towel sheet. We're like, this is terrible.
I slept with all my clothes on because I was scared.
Yeah.
So bad. Does either one of you snore? Because I'm going to get the answer from the opposite person.
No, well, she didn't.
I don't snore.
I don't snore either. Wait, did I snore? No way. I must have been tired.
God dang, one time we were staying somewhere. It was one of those deals where it was so late that you almost didn't want to get a hotel room because it wasn't worth spending the money.
Yeah.
But then again, we were just tired as hell. I said, okay, Rick Rude had seniority on me, big star at the time, and I was still, on my way. And he goes, hey, Steve, you want to get a room? Well, yeah, man, it's cool, man, because I ain't got no money. We can split it. God dang, Rick was hammered, and he goes to sleep immediately. And that guy snored so damn loud, and he's like the senior guy. But, we got to get up here pretty quick and get on the airplane. And so, he's snoring his ass off. It's like the curtains are going in his mouth every time he inhales. And I said, Rick! He'd stop. And we kept going. And, Rick! And then I started, God dang it, Rick! I mean, like really, really loud. It would kind of wake him up, and then he'd go right back to sleep. I didn't sleep a wink. From that night on, and he's no longer with us, and he's one of my really, really good friends. It was a great guy in the ring and in the business and just hanging around with. But after that night, I said, F it, I will pay the money to do whatever it takes to sleep by myself. And from that day on, it was probably, that was a long-ass time ago. I don't room with anybody since.
Dang.
I stayed at a hotel the other day. We was up in Reno making a trip. I told you about the other day. And my wife and I had to stay at this gimmick hotel. There was like an air show that was in town. So every single hotel in the area was booked. And we ended up at this Cracker Box motel. And when we traveled, we got our 2 dogs, which you'll meet in a minute. And we go in this hotel, and it was like the no smoking room that had been smoked in.
Yeah.
Because I always say that. And it smelled like, I'll go ahead and say it smelled like shit. You know, it was bad. And it just reminded me of my days on the road. And I was like, man, not again. I paid too many dues to be back here again. But here I am. I'm lucky to have the hotel room. And here was the thing that set me off. You ever go in the bathroom, and there in the bathtub is the gimmick hair?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gross.
It's something like, yeah, I mean, I just got to bring it up. I call it the gimmick hair, but it's like, no, man, really? A global icon and a national treasure? I got to deal with this yet again with my wife who deserves better?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how we roll. So if you didn't have your appearance, let's talk about the schedule of a WWE superstar. If you did not have the appearance, y'all would have rolled into town. You landed about 9:45. What would have been the process y'all would have went through going through the day leading up to tonight's event, getting ready for Monday Night Raw, which is live television? Take me through the schedule.
Me? Well, besides coming to see you, if we weren't coming here, let's see. We were already in the town, right? Or kind of ish. We were there. Maybe like 30 minutes away from the town or whatever. Probably literally the same thing she said. We probably would have went to breakfast and then I don't know if we would have worked out or, and then I guess we had a little bit more time because it's early. I guess try to find something to do.
In town.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes we'll go and like see stuff or whatever if there's like, you know, something that's worth seeing. But like, I don't know. Lately we haven't really gone. We're kind of just trying to get our workouts in and stuff. And like, I find joy, and I think she does too, in like just different coffee shops. So I don't know if that's like lame, but we just like finding really good coffee shops and stuff. But we don't spend hours in there like some people.
Man, I go to like if I'm traveling somewhere or whatever, you know, go to whatever coffee shop. I won't mention a name. I don't try to just seek out the best ones. I'll go to the normal ones. But it's the people that go in there, and you can tell that they're the regulars, and they go in there with their laptop computers.
Yeah.
And like, okay, when I used to go to San Antonio all the time, when we flew in to go down to my ranch, roll in, get to rent a car, go to the Trader Joe's. Well, the Starbucks is right there by the Trader Joe's, so my wife's getting all the stuff. I'm over getting coffee at the Starbucks. And it's the same old people that month by month by month that are still there. And I just don't understand the crowd. It's like the Starbucks and the coffee shops are like the new beer joints where people go to hang out and surf on the interweb.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Probably free Wi-Fi, that's why.
Yeah, I know. It ain't my cup of tea. It ain't my style.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's all like quiet in there and everybody's just, they go there to do their work and to do their homework and all that stuff. But
yeah, but if I was there, if I was like one of the gimmick people who worked at the coffee shop, I'm like, hey man, get out of here. You take up too much of the Wi-Fi. You run up overhead. Hey, we got the Wi-Fi for you, but you ain't got to hog it up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, what about the gym? I know I was talking to you. You were at the Honored Academy.
Yeah.
I know last time that you were in town, you were going to go do your CrossFit workout with your coach.
Yes.
So you're in the CrossFit.
Yes.
Like, what was today's workout going to be?
I don't know. He has it on my schedule. I think I had some power cleans or something that I had to do, and some like bike stuff. Yeah. What is it called? Like, you got it right there. The assault bikes.
Yeah.
Something like that. I haven't really looked at it for today, but no burpees.
How many days a week are you in the gym?
Like 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
sometimes less.
And you follow what that guy says.
Yeah. When I'm out on it though, I try to do their classes because it's just so different. It's not CrossFit. It's mobility and durability stuff and all like functional training. So it's all different things that I wouldn't normally do. Right. So I try to like do those when I'm there. And then when I'm on the road, I just follow my trainer's schedule.
Man, when they say functional, that's that gimmick stuff. It's like me. I'm going to just go in there and just lift the weights, go up and down, bench press, lat pull down, deadlift, stuff like that. Functional. Talk to me about functional.
It's just, they kind of like they're usually circuits. So they have like the kettlebells and then they have these things called like the steel maces, which is just like a long metal thing with like a ball at the end. And then they have these metal things that look like bowling pins. So it's all like different stations and you're just at it for like 30 seconds going around and around and different things. So it's just getting your body to move in different ways or They have us like jump roping with like the really thick jump rope, or sometimes they have us doing striking like with boxing gloves and stuff that you wouldn't normally do. It's just to throw it in there.
How's that done for your cardio in the ring?
It's good. I started training with one of the trainers there, just trying to learn like strikes and stuff. We only did a few classes, but I was dying. It's so hard. Like doing that is different cardio than we're used to in the ring.
Yeah, but you know what? When you get in the ring, it's like the few times that I had to recover from injuries, like you can be just a machine on the treadmill, on the elliptical or whatever.
Yeah.
And you think, hey man, it's badass. I'm in shape. All of a sudden you get in the ring and you start punching, kicking, or you know, selling for a guy, shining someone up, or getting heat on something. All of a sudden I go to that rear chin lock, blowed up.
Yeah.
It always take me a couple of months to get back in the ring shape. So
Yeah.
it's entirely different.
Yeah.
Sasha, I was on your Instagram account. So all you're doing some CrossFit activities, along with just a bunch of other cool stuff.
Yeah.
But tell me about how you stay in shape and what you're doing.
I guess I kind of do the CrossFit style too.
Kind of? What do you mean by kind of?
Well, my trainer adds just a bunch of different movements. If it's like lifting weights plus like circuit training and stuff. But I enjoy going to CrossFit gyms just because I like having my own space and not moving to different, you know, spots to try to get a lift in. That's what I can't stand about like LA Fitness, just, you know, trying to get a bench and then going out to another thing and then going back over here. So that's why I really like CrossFit. You just have your own space. You can be in your own little zone and be left alone.
You said you had a trainer.
Yes.
Talk to me about what's your goal, or what's your trainer? What did you talk to your trainer about as far as what you're trying to attain or maintain?
I just told her that I wanted abs.
Dude,
which
I'm surprised she's not showing you her abs right now.
I don't have them right now. I kind of went off my diet. I'll get back on it though. But I just told her I wanted to feel good and look good. I think that was the most important. When I was in NXT, I didn't really do a good job lifting, nor did I understand what, you know, lifting weights were. I just kind of just did my own I just did cardio most of the time and I didn't feel like I was strong, but now I feel like I'm really strong now. I'm hella strong.
She's all right.
What's your favorite lift?
I like doing squats a lot. I like doing legs, surprisingly. Before I hated doing legs, and it's like my go-to workouts now. I enjoy doing them.
But I was looking at some pictures of you when you first started. You really put on a lot of muscle.
Yeah, I did. I was skinny. When I first got signed, I was 113 pounds, and now I'm 126. And I would like to think that's all muscle.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
Yeah, see, I had some abs too. Believe it or not, I had some abs about a month and a half ago. But since it's holiday season, I said, you know what? You know, I'm not doing anything till after December, so I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy the holidays.
Nice.
You should.
Yeah.
Nightlife. You guys are gonna go to the show. You're going to work, put your match in. I hope you guys are going over.
We just got a new finisher that she
Oh, yeah?
thought of, so
Yeah.
Gotta try that.
Who's running y'all's shows? Like, who's the agents?
Oh, it's different every week. If it's at live events, yeah. This week it's Dean Malenko and Mike Rotunda.
Dean's great.
He's awesome.
Yeah. And so is Mike. I just don't get a chance to talk to Mike as much, but Dean was around back when I was going to New Japan way back in the day for just a couple of tours.
Yeah.
Hey, you were a big fan of All Japan Wrestling,
I
right?
was, yeah.
How? Why? I mean, not why, but I mean, it's just different.
I'm not telling the real reason. Because that's different. Besides, I love
Give
Asians.
me the real reason.
Give him the real reason. Stone Cold.
Well, that's good.
So, no, when I was like 15, I went to online school, and instead of doing my work, I would go on, you know, the internet and find all these matches. And I didn't know what they were like independent matches were, nor did I know what like women Japanese wrestling was. And I fell in love. I was like, no way can these women wrestle like this. And then it just led into other promotions, and I fell in love. I'm like, wow, this is incredible. It's way different than WWE, WWF at the time, and I love the style.
So when did you start watching WWE?
I started when I was 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been watching for a long time?
Oh, a long time, yeah.
When did you have your first match? Because
when I was 18.
25 right now?
Yeah, when I was 18.
That's crazy. You've been in business 7 years.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it.
You started, early too?
Yeah, I started in 2008.
But you were how old?
I was 18.
18, yeah. Jesus
I'm a little
Christ.
bit older than her.
Well, no, you just only got about a couple of years. Hey, you're still a youngster. Don't you get started here.
That's right.
You've got a couple of bumps left in you.
Yep, just a few.
Me too.
So talk about the difference between what you were watching with All Japan and then what WWE was when you were 10 years old and now.
Well, I felt like WWE was just all entertainment. I didn't really even pay attention to the matches until I was like maybe 13. and actually understanding what like wrestling was, because my favorite was Eddie Guerrero, of course. And I loved him for his wrestling and not for the character stuff. But Japanese wrestling, I just felt like it was all just hard hitting, nonstop. And I was just like, wow, these people are killing each other, but it's entertaining. And it's just like the technical aspect of it all. I just always loved wrestling more than I did the entertainment part, which was kind of crazy as a fan, I think. Cause growing up, I loved Eddie more than Brock Lesnar, or I loved Eddie more than, I don't want to say Stone Cold, but The Rock, you know what I mean? It was just like, because I loved you, of course, but I loved his wrestling more than, seeing The Rock cut a promo, which is crazy.
Right.
Which I don't feel like a lot of, I do. I don't feel like a lot of fans just love just the wrestling aspect anymore. They loved everything about it, but
that's interesting that's what grabbed you was more the in-ring stuff rather than the other stuff with respect to maybe a storyline angle. Angle would obviously play into some of the action.
Of course.
But yeah, you were more of a fan of just the in-ring stuff. And man, along those lines, I mean, so was I when I first started watching wrestling, because obviously I'm a little bit older than you guys. But watching when I was 7 or 8 years old, sitting on the floor, my mom was sitting in her chair reading a magazine, and Dusty Rhodes, this is Houston wrestling, the same Houston Coliseum, and somebody had Dusty an iron claw, and I've told the story many times, bear with me. Dusty's bleeding like a stuck pig, and there's a security guard who had a sidearm. This is way back in the day. Smoke-filled arena, same Houston Coliseum, little rope banister, no security rail. And I looked at my mom, I said, Mom, why don't the security guard help Dusty? I mean, hell, he had a gun. Yeah. So, I wasn't like I was watching promos and stuff like that. I was just so enthralled with what was going on in that ring. It was like, and plus back in, it was real. And I was like, man, I got to do this.
Yeah, that's so cool. It's so crazy. Everyone had, their stories of when they first seen it. That's so detailed that everyone remembers in detail. I can't remember a match that happened 2 or 3 years ago, but you always remember your first time seeing it.
But I remember reading about you when you were I think your dad watched or your family watched, but all of a sudden Macho Man was on, and something about him just captured you. What was it? The persona, the voice,
he was just
ability.
He was just making his entrance, because my brother and my dad watched it all the time, and I remember walking behind the couch, say the TV's there, they're watching it that way, and I'd walk back and forth and not even pay attention to it. And then I saw him, and I don't know if it's just his sequins or whatever, just stuck out. I just, what's that? Who's that? Mm-hmm. And then I sat down with it from then on, continued watching it. That was it. Not as detailed as yours, I guess, but I gotta go.
But there's like I said, I don't remember nothing, but I remember the reason I started watching the business.
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero, tell me about him. What was it about? Because I loved Eddie.
Yeah.
And, so many of the guys are no longer with us. I hate going to funerals. I just do. I went to Eddie's funeral because I had to, just because Eddie was Eddie. Yeah. And he was just like this, because you never got a chance to meet him.
No.
And he was just like this, I don't know, this gentle soul. He was still a young guy, but he was like an old soul in a young person's body. Mm-hmm. And it just seemed like when he was in the ring, that was when he was at his happiest. And I guess when he got out of the ring, I think that's when all of his troubles jumped on him. But just from a performance standpoint in the ring, the thing I just loved about, if you had a guy laying on the mat, and the guy was laying face up, like when you stand on a guy's head.
Oh, my favorite. I tried to learn how to do that so many times.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I try.
And it's those little things like that he would do, and you think,
so
anybody who don't know the business would think, that's BS. What's that all about? Is it a highly technical move? Yeah. No, it's just the way he did it.
So much snappiness. I get asked that question a lot, and I don't have one thing what made me draw to him. I felt like it was just everything, and I don't know. I can't say what it is that just drew me to him. But the moment I started watching wrestling and I saw him, I was like, what is this? I want to do this. This is everything that I felt like I wanted to do in life, being an actor, doing athletic stuff, and he just captivated me. The moment I started watching wrestling, I was like, this is what I want to do, Mom. So
you've been doing it now for 7 years.
Yeah.
And you've been, what?
9.
9?
Mm-hmm. Almost 10. That's crazy.
Almost 10.
Bayley, how are you feeling right now physically?
Oh, great.
Head to toe.
I do actually feel okay. More than, because I'm not doing as much as we did at NXT, right. We're saying with all these, we don't work as much. So my body feels like it's healed a little bit. Like I have little nagging things that'll never go away, I don't think, but I don't know, pretty good. And I've learned to take care of my body better just from like the On It Academy or like training better and actually knowing how to work out and how important stretching and all that stuff is.
That really is. I wish I'd done more of that because when you say functional, when you say mobility and the stretching, I agree with it.
Makes a huge difference. You notice it like right away.
Are you one of those people? I used to travel with Diamond Dallas Page. Diamond Dallas Page. Do y'all know him?
Yeah, of course.
He's an absolute nut.
Yeah.
But he's one of my best friends. And if I will never have a body that I would need to bury. But if I did, if I could say, Dallas, bring a shovel. I'll be there in a minute, bro.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy he is. I love him. But back in the day, me, him, and Mick Foley would travel together. Weren't making no money. 3 guys in a room. Dallas was on the floor. He was the oldest guy in the room, but he was the youngest guy as far as seniority. So his ass is on the cot. And it was great. But Dallas would walk around and he'd have all these ice bags like elbows, shoulders, knees. I mean, I literally would just shove a beer in one of his gimmick ice bags to keep my beer cold. It was great. And of course, me and Mick ribbed him unmercifully to see who. Mick would say, hey, let's see which one of us can crack DDP first. I said, okay. So we just started messing with him. So he was in the forefront of all the things. And he had one of those little things that looked like a torpedo with a release on it, it was one of the beginning things of chiropractic. It was like a nerve releaser.
Oh, okay.
And so, he says, bro, can you do this on my neck? I'm like, dude, I don't care what you do. I just don't want to do anything to you. That's your business. This is my space. So how are you feeling? Because, Sasha, there's been a couple of bumps throughout your career that have scared the hell out of me.
And I'm doing a good job then. Maybe.
As long as you're okay. Yeah. Okay, top to bottom, head to toe, how are you feeling?
Same. I feel pretty good. Right now, my neck hurts a little bit, but that's because of the flight and how I sleep. I always sleep insanely. I'm like hunched up, but that's on me. I need to
You
better
can get on
that.
an airplane and just go to sleep?
Yeah, that's the number one thing I do. I love sleeping on.
Can you?
I love sleeping. I love sleeping.
That used to be the thing that pissed me off because I'd be like, this was my schedule back in the day. And this was back in the Wild Wild West kind of still.
Yeah.
And obviously, when you're 28, right?
Yeah.
25. And those days, I mean, you're bulletproof. You get the aches and pains. It's a brutal business.
Yeah.
It ain't soap opera. I mean, it ain't a dance. It's a rough business. But man, I'd get on that damn plane. It's going to be a couple Bloody Marys. And I ain't going to lie to you, it's more than a couple. But that was my gig. I was Stone Cold Steve Austin. I was living the gimmick. And then there was Triple H. Triple H always been a gym rat, always kept himself in great condition, never drank. Every now and then he might have one obligatory beer just every now and then, just with the boys, just for the heck of it. And we all respected him.
Yeah.
Because people always say, if someone's not going to drink with you, you can't trust them. No, it wasn't about that with Triple H. We just understood and respected the fact that he was a bodybuilder guy. Mm-hmm. But going back to what I'm talking about, as soon as that guy gets on an airplane, we'd all be sitting there. And we ain't even taken off yet. And he's just, as soon as he sat down and put his head back, he was asleep. And sure enough, the wheels are coming down. We're about to land. I'm just finishing up a drink. And there he wakes up fresh as a daisy.
Yeah.
And that used to be a thing. I mean, good for him. It just irritated the hell out of me. I can't sleep on an airplane. Sasha, when you're on an airplane, you're in a tube with wings and some guy driving this thing that you don't know. I'm worried about him.
I think we get so used to it, and I'm a morning person, so I wake up really early. So anytime I try to get like my naps in on the flight because you never know what we're going to be doing or what time we're going to get into the next town. It could be 2 a.m, 3 a.m. You never know. But I like sleeping because I love to dream.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Aww.
Is that weird?
You remember your dreams?
Most of the time. Why would I wake up, but then a little bit later I can't remember?
Man, I ain't had a dream in I don't know how long. Every now and I look up and tell
you
my wife,
have dreams every night. You just probably don't remember them.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I always rip people's stuff. I just don't remember nothing anymore. I just got a bad memory.
That's me now. It's so bad.
Get in the ring, let me call a high spot.
Yeah.
If I didn't call it, I'll forget it.
Yeah.
One time I was in a ring, it was on a pay-per-view, and I messed up my own high spot. Normally, I like to do the luthers with the other person on the run. Mm-hmm. For some reason, me and Triple H, this is on pay-per-view. And then he was on the run. No, I was on the run. And it was going to be the Thez. And he's just standing there because it was like in a tackle position. He's standing vertical in the middle of the ring. And so I'm running at him. I'm thinking, Lou Thez. So I just jumped on him and straddled him. And I was sitting there hanging there. And finally, he just takes the bump and falls down like Tim Burr. So after the Thez, that's when I start using the right hands. And I'm sitting there the whole time I'm hitting him, and he's laughing his ass off. There's so many things you can get away with in the ring. So as I'm pounding, I'm like, God. Those were cuss words.
Yeah.
This is family friendly. Bayley, before you leave, on Twitter and Instagram, you are what?
Twitter is It's Bayley WWE. Instagram is It's Me Bayley. No WWE.
Man, I was trying to call you yesterday, and my brother-in-law's name is Mitch Bailey. So I got on Siri, and I said, call Bayley. So all of a sudden, this real low voice answers, and it was my brother-in-law. I said, damn, Bailey's voice changed. Siri, you're always getting me in trouble. Well, let's shut up.
Like, hello, Steve, I just woke up.
I said, what are you doing? Drinking a Jack and Coke. I don't sound like the Bayley I know.
That's awesome.
I'm shaving. Bayley, awesome seeing you again.
Yes, thank you for
having us. I'm sorry I had to go do an appearance. But, I'm glad you're doing this for the company, and you got a big smile on your face, and you're going to have a good time, and you're going to go get some goo poured on you and eat some crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Can't wait. Watch it on YouTube, guys.
Well, Sasha, give us a mention on Twitter and Instagram before we shut off.
Twitter and Instagram, it's Sasha Banks WWE.
You ain't going to be hot about it.
Hey, it's Jay Moore, and it is time for America's Lakers podcast. That's right. I'm going to be hosting America's Lakers podcast. My man, Aaron Larsoul, an analytical genius. He's going to bring to the table what I can't every Wednesday.
Aaron. Yes. This is the official podcast of the Los Angeles Lakers.
We are, and as the analytics expert on this podcast, I want to actually give you some props, Jay, because you were interrupting me at 42% of all sentences, and you're down to 34. What would you attribute this reduction to?
I'm down to what now?
34%.
35. I interrupted you again. There's the gold standard and the purple and gold standard.
America's Lakers podcast with me, Jay Moore, and my man, my brother, Aaron Larsoul, every Wednesday, PodcastOne.com.
All right, let's take a quick pause for the calls and give big ups to a sponsor who makes this podcast possible, and that's the good folks over at TrueCar. Hey, folks, here are some useful car tips you might not be aware of. A coffee filter and a little bit of olive oil can clean your interior. That's right. Here's another one for you. Removing excess weight from your car will improve gas mileage. Absolutely. Here's one last one for you. This one might really come in handy. Placing your key fob to your chin will increase its range. It's weird, right? But it's true. Are you ready for one more tip you might not know about? TrueCar also helps people get used cars. That's right. TrueCar ain't just for buying new cars. With their certified dealer network and nationwide inventory of nearly 1 million used cars, you'll enjoy real pricing on actual inventory and a simpler buying experience, whether you buy new or used. And with TrueCar, users can see what others paid, so they know if they're getting a good deal before buying. They're also more likely to enjoy a faster buying experience by connecting with TrueCar certified dealers. When you're ready to buy a new or used car, check out TrueCar and enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Some features not available in all states.
This is Steve Austin Unleashed.
All right, everybody, welcome back to part 2 of the podcast. Just got finished talking to Sasha Banks and Bayley. And god dang, it was awesome seeing those young ladies. That interview happened a couple of weeks ago, and I'm sitting over here at 317 Gimmick Street, man. I'm about to spool up, load up my Yukon Denali XL, and point that thing towards Nevada and go visit my brother-in-law and check on the progress of my shoulder mount down there at the taxidermy shop. I think he might be getting close to finishing that damn thing, and it was an awesome time down there. Go down there and stay down there for a couple of days, and I don't even know if we'll stay for Christmas. We'll see how long we end up staying down there, but I'm looking forward to getting down there and getting out of California. It has been so strange being here in the state of California during the Christmas time and during the Thanksgiving holidays. Man, when we came back a couple of weeks ago from Edna, Texas, Victoria, Texas, and we drove through Palm Desert, Palm Springs on the Sunday after Black Friday, and we got our asses handed to us in traffic. I've already talked about that, but the point I'm trying to make is we've never been in California for the last 10 years during this time of the year, and this boy's been really, I don't know where to shit or wind my watch, quite frankly. So I'm looking forward to getting out of town. And I tell you what, man, as the last few days, the last couple of weeks, it's been getting closer and closer to Christmas. LA's just been getting busier and busier. You know, everybody's out there doing their Christmas shopping, all that stuff. And God dang, boy, I tell you what, you talk about traffic. LA ain't a bad place to live, especially if you get up and you drive around here at 5:30, 6 in the morning, 6:30. Before traffic really gets bad, it's a great place to live. But all of a sudden that traffic starts waking up, and I'd rather be anywhere but Los Angeles. So we're going to head out of town for a couple of days. I'm looking forward to it. I got to get out of Dodge. I tell you what, man, when that sun goes down out here at 5 p.m., boy, that'll make your head spin. I ain't used to sun going down so damn early. So I'm looking forward to going to see my brother-in-law. I tell you what, I had a couple people email me, and I'm going to answer your questions here in a minute. I had a couple people email me about my mule deer hunt a couple weeks ago. I drew a tag for Unit 034, about 80 miles outside of Winnemucca, Nevada. We went out there. We stayed over at the Deer Creek Ranch. Awesome people out there, 160 acres. And we didn't hunt the ranch. We hunted the Unit 34, and which is probably, I don't know, a couple 100,000 acres, I guess. Out there riding around on buggies and glassing, and people asking me, Steve, how come you never posted any pictures of your mule deer? Well, my brother-in-law posted some pictures of my mule deer on his Instagram account, Nevada Hunting Services. I didn't post anything just because people are so damn sensitive about hunting these days. I hunt. I'm proud to hunt. I ate the mule deer. I'm in the process of eating my mule deer. But people are so damn sensitive about hunting these days. I just try to keep my passions or those things that I like to do that, you know, a lot of people aren't into to myself. So, yeah, man, to answer the question about the hunt, if you want to see the mule deer that I took or was able to find, well, we got lucky we found that damn thing on the first day. But, yeah, just, you know, man, I've been hunting since I was 8 years old, I guess. Like I said, I've told you guys a story just walking behind my dad in the woods, my stepdad, and he's wanted to turn us on to it. And so it's something I've been doing for my whole life, and I will do till, for at least another 10, 15 years, I hope. And I tell you what, I've been talking to my brother-in-law a lot, and he's been out there running some trap lines. I'm probably going to try to get a podcast out of him about trapping. And trapping is a whole different ball game than hunting. But anyway, so the bottom line, the hunting story, man, I was able to take a hell of a damn mule deer. My first mule deer I ever took scored about 180, and I scored him myself. He's going to be real close to 180. I'm very conservative when I score. That's a badass mule deer. There's bigger ones out there for sure, but for your first mule deer and your first hunt and the first day to luck up on something like that, and well, I don't know, it was awesome. And so I like to talk to my brother-in-law about trapping because, man, he tells me these trapping stories I talk to him about every other day. You know, he's been running his trap lines, and it's not something that I'm into, but is a part of the predator control going on in the state of Nevada that is extremely interesting. And no matter, you know, what your stance is on it, when you listen to someone, you know, I guess my brother Mitch, we call each other brother now. We left out the in-law. I guess my brother Mitch is 56 or 7 years old. So he's got me by a couple of years, but he's been hunting and trapping since he was, just a kid. He's been trapping. He knows that whole state of Nevada like the back of his hand. God dang, it is absolutely unbelievable how well that guy knows the state of Nevada. Anyway, he gets on his four-wheeler and he's running his trap lines, and I don't know, for 10, 15, 20 miles long, and just the stories he's been telling me, he's caught so many mountain lions this year. And you're not trying to catch mountain lions in traps. You're trying to catch other things, but these mountain lions. And when you catch a mountain lion in a trap, I'll tell you this, just so I can get off the subject and we'll talk to him about it. But when you catch a mountain lion in a trap, you don't trap mountain lions. If you want to hunt them, you hunt them. So then you have to release them. So you think, well, how do you release a mountain lion with his foot in the trap. Well, you call I guess it's the, what's the state biologist or the state, whatever it is, game warden, one of the game wardens from the unit. They go out there and they dart the lion. The lion goes to sleep. They remove his paw from the trap. He wakes up and then he runs off, and he's just fine and dandy. Those traps don't hurt their feet. They're just fine. So anyway, I'm going to talk to him about trapping, because when I sit there and I listen to him break it down at the most basic, fundamental survival ecosystem, wildlife system of the animal system out there in Nevada, it's very, very interesting. Well, to me it is anyway. So anyway, started off with a hunting story, ended up talking about trapping, but I'm looking forward to getting out there. And man, I decided to go ahead and get myself a birthday/Christmas present this year. So I got myself a brand new Kawasaki Brute Force 750. And I'm going to get that thing when I get out there to Nevada. So I'm looking forward to getting on that thing and seeing how it performs and riding a trap line with him, because that's one of the things that I miss about being at the Broken Skull Ranch. When we were out there, man, me and Teddy were riding our mules. Shoot, we put 40, 50 miles on those things a day, just riding around, doing work, riding back and forth, doing the hunting thing. And so since I've been cooped up in Los Angeles, didn't have a place to go, man, I figured, man, I'm going to get myself a damn four-wheeler. I still got that old four-wheeler that I used to ride down to the ring on Monday Night Raw, and it's sitting in a freight container. Battery's dead on it. Still runs fine. I went down there to the Broken Skull Challenge compound the other day and started that thing up, and I looked down on it. It's got 106 hours on it, and it has right over almost 1,000 miles. That thing is literally brand new. That thing is, I talked to Ellis Edwards the other day. Ellis Edwards is a guy who sets up a lot of the, I don't want to call them stunts. He's a former stuntman from L.A. or lived in L.A., but he does all the rigging and stuff like that for all those gigs that they still do. And I remember Ellis, when we got that first four-wheeler, I think it's a 2003 700 model, and it was camouflage, and we painted it black because we thought black would look cooler on TV than the camouflage would. And I remember every time before going out on that four-wheeler in that crowd, you'd have to position it sideways because, all the WWF superstars at the time had to walk by that thing, and it was on the gorilla. It wasn't by the gorilla position, but it was on the stage as those guys would walk back and forth to the ring, the girls too. And all of a sudden, it would come time to ride the four-wheeler out, and me and Ellis would be out there flipping that thing around, picking it up by the ass end and the front end, pointing it towards the entryway. So when that glass broke, there we go off to the damn ring. And it was funny because people could see, the people that are on that part of the ring, as the camera is shooting, you can't see what we're doing, but a lot of the people from behind us could see exactly what we're doing. We're getting that thing in position. And I was going to get a battery for that thing because it's dead, and I can't charge it anymore because it won't hold a charge. So out of the blue, I called Ellis up, and I said, God dang, man, I said, I can't find any markings on that four-wheeler anywhere. I said, what year is that thing? He goes, heck, Steve. He goes, that's a 2003, and it's a 700. So anyway, that's what it is. I'm going to go get me a battery for that thing. But that thing, it's funny because four-wheelers have evolved, and the new the Brute Force, and I think almost every new make of four-wheeler has electronic power steering. And man, electronic power steering in like a mule or any other UTV is really cool. It's just like a car. You've driven an old pickup truck or something that's older, it doesn't have power steering, all of a sudden you get power steering. A lot of you kids that listen to this podcast don't know anything but power steering. But when you think four-wheelers, you think, man, power steering, you only turn the handlebars this far. But God dang, it makes a huge difference in the ride on those things. So anyway, I'm looking forward to getting that thing out there, breaking it in and riding up and down the trap lines. And I'm going to do a podcast about that subject. I just think it's highly interesting. It's fascinating, the trading part of it and everything that goes into it. But anyway, enough about me running my mouth about the hunting and trapping and all my new stuff or the new four-wheel. I'm looking forward to riding it and getting out in the woods. I tell you what, man, Right now, as I open this podcast, it's Tuesday night, and I'm opening this podcast on Tuesday night because I'm a haul ass down in Nevada on Wednesday, and I ain't got time to do the open, the podcast. Like I said, talking with Sasha and Bayley that you guys just listened to, and I'm answering the questions you guys sent in. But, hell, I got to head back over to 316 Gimmick Street, see if I can catch the last episode of the Broken Skull Challenge. This is a co-ed episode, men and women. If you listen to this podcast, the show already aired. But anyway, my point is, we got through 5 seasons of Broken Skull Challenge, and I remember the day Hunter got on that Skull Buster when he first ran it, because he earned the right as my returning champion to run the Skull Buster before anybody else did, and set a benchmark time that all the bracket champions were going to have to beat if they wanted to knock him out. And I just got finished watching the whole run on CMT.com. And I remember this the day it happened, but I haven't seen that run since it happened. And I tell you what, man, Hunter, congratulations on a badass season. Congratulations on all the hard work and success you found by, doing the work. And, genetics obviously play into it as well. But here's a guy that works his ass off to come out there and do the best he can. He's so mentally sharp. He's so smart. He's just so physically fit. The guy's just an incredible physical specimen. And I'm sitting there watching this course, and I'm sitting there running right beside him, on the little segments. And I'm following behind him on backbreaker, where he's got that 75-pound log on his back, and I'm riding my Kawasaki Mule Pro FXT, riding behind him. And then he just throws that log down, and then I just start walking beside him as he runs that course. Man, just sitting here watching on CMT.com. Holy smokes, man, that guy is a legit, straight-up bad son of a bitch. 6:01. I don't know if anybody can ever beat that time. I know I'll probably change the course next year if we get another season out of it. But I'll tell you something. That guy, he puts in the work, and we brought out some stud athletes to try to knock his ass out of there. But he reigns supreme, man, and he's a badass dude. And the women were badass, too. This is my last shout-out, my last thank you for this season of Broken Skull Challenge athletes. All the people that came out there are wired a little bit different. These people came out there and left the comfort zone of Spartan racing, obstacle course racing, Tough Mudder, CrossFit, whatever. You stepped out of the comfort zone to come out there and go head-to-head with another human being, bracket-style competition, to advance to be the one to take on the Skull Buster. We got 8 people showing up, and only one person is left at the end of the day. And that special sumbitch gets a chance to run the Skull Buster and get on a worldwide television and show what they got. So I've had a great time doing that show, and I appreciate all the damn athletes that came out to the compound, and I enjoyed watching you do what you did. Now, with that being said, let's get to some questions you guys sent in. He goes, "Hey, Steve, I'm a radio personality in Evansville, Indiana. I've heard you mention that Evansville was payday every Wednesday back in the day. Do you have any good stories / memories of Evansville?" Travis Sams, middays on 99.5 WKDQ. Well, I'll tell you what, Travis, man, I ain't got no great memories of Evansville in particular. It was a cool town, kind of a mid-sized town, and yeah, that was payday. We always got there right towards dark because that's when the matches were starting, so it wasn't like and when you did Evansville, you started off in Nashville. So when you finished in Evansville, you took a shower and you went back to Nashville. So you didn't really stick around for the nightlife. You didn't get there early to go enjoy the town or sightsee. It was a weekly territory. It was a weekly town that we were going to every single Wednesday. So the only thing I remembered about Evansville was that was payday. And we went to the building, we worked, and we went on to the next one. And other than that, I remember when, they built that new building, and I worked in that a time or two. But that old building they used to have had a great little atmosphere to it. I remember they used to hand us our paychecks before we worked. And after the matches, me and the guys that I was working with, we'd go down to the liquor store and we'd cash those checks. And, man, those checks, I mean, hell, I probably never cashed a check at that liquor store. Well, those early checks were under $100 for a whole week's worth of work. Some of them were the $150, $160. I'm talking about for a week, man. And you're talking about driving a couple 100 miles on each damn shot. You know, it's 200 to Memphis from Nashville. And it's 200 back from the same distance on the way back. So, son of a bitch, it wasn't like we was getting rich. But, man, I was having a lot of fun, and I was learning the business. And we used to tell that guy at the liquor store, and I knew he knew what was up. We used to tell him, oh, man, these are trans checks. It's for our gas. Shit. It wasn't for our gas. That was for the work we was putting in. And you know, it's funny, man, when a couple of boys can go to the liquor store and cash their checks, and the liquor store got enough money to cash all the checks. Shit, we wasn't making nothing. Not even the veterans were making anything. And I know if I wasn't making nothing, well, let's say one of the veterans, okay, I was traveling with Dr. Tom Pritchard at that time. So let's say Tom, if he was making 4 times what I was making, let's just say that was when I had, let's call it the $100 a night guarantee, $500, $600. But when I got the $100 guarantee, we weren't cashing the checks in Nashville. Okay, let's say someone else. Let's say that the guys are making $300 a night. $200 a night. Hell, I was making $20 a night. Shit. I ain't got no good memories of Evansville. I remember the crowds. I remember that ring. I remember all the guys working there. It was a great atmosphere. So I don't really remember the town specifically, but I always enjoyed working at Evansville. It was about 135 miles. Was it 135 or 160? No, it was about $135 from Nashville, Tennessee, if I remember correctly. Matter of fact, I'm going to sit there and plug it in on my computer right now on MapQuest. We're going to go to driving directions. We're going to find out how far it is. It's 153 miles. What did I say, 135? Yeah, I had the 5 and 3 turnaround. 153 miles, 2 hours, 24 minutes. There's 2 routes you can get there. Coming out of Nashville, I was staying over at the Congress Inn, starving my ass off. Started riding with Dr. Tom Pritchard. That was when I got into the learning tree. Seemed like everybody I got into with, it was weird how all my travel partner was able to help me when I was traveling with Dutch Mantell, who basically gave me both names, Steve Austin and Stunning Steve Austin, riding around the road with Tom Pritchard, and he was telling me about, you know, what a gimmick is, or what a character is, or what was so stunning about being Stunning Steve Austin. Or when I was riding up and down the road with gorgeous Gary Young, and I'd ask him, man, why'd you do this when you did that? Or Matt Bourne, or any of the other guys I started riding with. Always got to have good riding partners when you're riding up and down the road. If you're going to ride up down the road with someone, ride up and down the road with someone that you can learn from. So I remember all those drives vividly. Can't remember all my different travel partners that I've had over the years, but man, we was talking the business, we was booking the territory, we was talking about the matches, we were talking about where we were in the business, and all that stuff. So anyway, thanks for the questions, Travis. I don't really have any specific memories of Evansville. I started rambling all over the place there, but man, I was just being on the road back in the day. Here's a question from Nathan over in Spokane, Washington. He says, Steve, I remember you taking stunners from Jericho and The Rock. I don't think I ever saw you take the stun gun. If you had to take one of them in the ring right now from a professional wrestler, which would you rather take, the stunner or the stun gun? Hell, man, that's easy. I'd rather take Stone Cold Stunner because that stun gun, man, guys got to pick you up. Well, when I used to use that, you had to really be careful with that because you got to pick a guy up as he's running towards you, and then you've got to just pick him up enough around the waist level, elevate him, fall back enough so that he hits basically under his armpits, neck area on that top rope. So if you undershoot it, he's going to get that rope's going to hit him about right in the nose area. It's going to rake his eyes and just totally fuck him up. Or on the other side, if you take him too far, he's going to hit it on his belly, have a chance to flip over the damn top rope. So I'll tell you what, I don't remember who talked me into using the stun gun to begin with, because I don't believe I thought about that on my own. I might have because people were using it before me. I don't remember how that happened, but it was that was a move among many moves in the business of pro wrestling that you got to be careful with. You can damn sure really, really jack somebody up as far as the Stone Cold Stunner goes. I mean, man, you know, you just place your chin on the dude's shoulder, you go down, kind of grab him around the waist as a base, know when he's going down, and don't have your tongue between your teeth when you make impact, and don't really have your damn jaw, you know, really resting too solidly on the sumbitch's traps, and you're good to go. But that stunner, man, if you had your tongue between your teeth and that damn, we hit that mat together and we was a little bit cattywampus or discombobulated, boy, there's a lot of guys bit their damn tongue, but for the most part, that stunner was one of the safest finishers that you could ever ask for. It was one of those kind of finishes is like, it's interesting because I was talking with someone the other day, I think it might have been Court Bauer, and we were talking about the Road Warriors finish because we had been on a little booking segment. We were talking about Axe and Smash from Demolition. And Demolition, god dang, I don't know why those guys ain't in the Hall of Fame yet, but they were a great tag team. But we were talking about the Road Warriors, of course, and that finish they had when they'd hold the guy up on their shoulder and the other guy would come off flying clothesline. They'd flip the legs with the clothesline. I think the Steiners used the same thing. I can't remember, but I never had to take either one of those from either the Road Warriors or the Steiners, and all four guys are gold. The guys are just, you know, of course, Hawk is not with us, but, you know, all the guys were nice as hell. But, Joel, I tell you what, being on the receiving end of some of those finishes or some of the other finishes that are in the, you know, still in the ring today, man. Dude, the biggest thing about being in the business, if you're going to have a finish, have an easy finish that looks cool and anybody can take it. A top guy, bottom guy, big guy, light guy, skinny guy, fat guy, don't matter. Have a finish that anybody can take. You got a finish anybody can take, and you can give it to anybody effectively, you got a good finish. So I'd go stunner over the stun gun. Let me take a swig here. Winding down for the evening. Here's one. Howdy, Steve. Been trying to reach out to you to see about that Ford Focus. Holler if you're still looking to part ways with it. From the mean streets of El Paso, Texas, Adam. I tell you what, Adam. I tell you, I've been thinking about that Ford Focus. 2003 Metallic P. That thing is green, and it's sitting out in my front yard. And that son of a bitch. I love that little car. I probably won't ever sell it. It's got 65,000 original miles. I told you a story a million times, but fact of the matter is, between, you know, the stuff that I lease and the stuff that I own, I hardly ever drive that Ford Focus. It's like, it's our backup car. And that little bastard is fun to drive. But I was going to move it the other day because I had some people coming over. I need to move that thing out of the way. And I got in there. I took the car cover off of it. Yep, that's right. I got a car cover on the Ford Focus because all the pollution, all the shit that flies down from the skies, all the fires, all the ashes are flying around here, get on that paint and just jack it up. So I took the car cover off of it. I popped the hood on it, took the battery cover off, and I placed my little gimmick charger on it. And I was going to jump start the damn Ford Focus to move it out of the way because the battery was just deader than hell. God dang it. My wife just came driving up about that time, and she was pulling the driveway, and I just hooked up those wires, and I was looking right at the battery. I was looking right at the hot terminal. I was looking at the negative terminal, positive and a negative, and I'll be damned if bigger than Dallas, I didn't hook them sumbitches up backwards. I put the black on the red and the red on the black, and all of a sudden, a bunch of smoke started flying. There was a couple of sparks. I thought I was going to catch a sumbitch on fire. I blew up my gimmick charger by hooking it to the wrong damn terminal on the battery because I had my head up my ass. I think I was thinking about a high spot or something like that I just saw on Monday Night Raw, and I was sitting out there kind of with my head up my ass. I hooked the things up backwards. Sparks and shit start flying everywhere. It starts smoking. It burned out my battery charger. My wife started laughing at me because if you're a guy, you got to know how to jump off a car using a damn battery charger or a gimmick charger like I got. Shit, you can't hook it up backwards, but that's what I did. So going back to the Ford Focus, I got the sumbitch started and moved it out of the way, and I was just out there today, put the gimmick charger back on it today because when my mother-in-law bought the battery for that car, she brought a 36-month battery, a 3-year battery. Man, if I'm going to buy a battery, I get those yellow top batteries. What do they call this? Damn near like a marine or heavy cycle battery, copper tops, whatever it's called. I get those good-ass batteries that last like 5 or 6 years. Even if I'm going to keep a car a year or two, I'll get the damn best battery money can buy. And y'all know how cheap I am, but I will spend money on a battery. Hell, I pop a hood, open that damn battery case, 36 months. Shit. I've had the damn thing about 12 months myself. I don't know when she put that damn battery in it. You know, they last longer than they say they'll last. A 36-month battery. Shit, you got to go 5-year battery with all the cranking power you can get on the sumbitch so it can start the damn motor. I'll only be out there pissing around with a damn gimmick charger on a damn 36-month battery. So, as soon as I get back from Nevada, my ass is going to be at the parts store, and I'm going to buy one of those damn deep cycle batteries to put on my Ford Focus. But now, let me get to your question here on your email. Holler if you're still looking to part ways with it. Adam, I got some bad news for you. I think I'm going to hold on to the 2003 Metallic P Ford Focus. It has become a part of the Austin family and heritage and tradition. But I tell you what, that sumbitch could tear up the main streets of El Paso. I-10 runs straight through El Paso. That front-wheel drive son of a bitch, you could be in there cutting in and out of traffic, or you could low-ride it, or you could jack it up. You could do whatever you wanted to with it. That little old Ford Focus would just get right through that traffic, mister. You would have the dream machine. Everybody in El Paso would be jealous and envious of the fact that you had a Metallic P Ford Focus shining like a speckled trout, bought from a global icon and a national treasure, Steve Austin. But, Adam, I hate to break your heart, give you the bad news, but I'm going to give it to you right here on the podcast. I'm going to hang on to that sumbitch. I appreciate you sending in the email, but I'm going to swap that damn battery out. I'm going to take it in, turn in my damn, core charge. I'm bringing my core, and put me a 5-year battery in that sumbitch. 2003. How was that thing? That's a 14-year-old car. Shit. You talk to me in 10 more years. Come back to me, Adam. If you still want that Ford Focus, send me another email. We'll talk about it then. Hey, man, here's a question. Hey, Steve. Comes from Mike Weiss down there in Fort Collins, Colorado. Similar to Jericho's upcoming wrestling cruise, have you ever thought about planning a ticketed hunting event trip? Rent out a hotel for a long weekend, plan some signings, have some hunting personality buddies of yours on hand for podcasts, etc. I think it could be very popular and make a good amount of money if promoted and priced properly. Mike Weiss from Fort Collins, Colorado. Well, I tell you what, I remember seeing when Jericho was talking about the wrestling cruise, I guess the announcement first came out right after those hurricanes hit down there in Houston, and Florida as well. Anyway, notwithstanding, I was like, golly, I remember sending him a text. I said, man, y'all aren't doing the cruises this year, are you? He goes, no, in 2018. So anyway, back to the hunting trip. The wrestling cruise sounds like a great idea. I think those guys are going to have an awesome time. And they've got some really cool events lined up and some good guests, good music. So it'll be badass. But as far as doing the hunting thing, let me see. Rent out a hotel for a long weekend. A hotel, man, if it's going to be a hotel, you ain't going to be able to get enough people in there. And plan some signings, hunting personality buddies. That's the biggest problem of it. I ain't got no hunting personality buddies that are on hand. Teddy's down there. Ted Fowler 361's down there in South Texas. I'd have to fly his ass up. Mitch, my brother-in-law, hell, he could be there. But other than that, hell, I ain't got any superstar hunting buddies that I could do the damn hunting event. What we call it? Hunt mania. I don't even know what we call the damn thing, Mike. It could be very popular and make a good amount of money. Nah, I don't think it'd be very popular. Man, I'll tell you what, the one thing I like about Nevada, it's very similar to Texas, geographically, a pretty good ways off. But, man, a lot of people like to hunt in Texas, and a lot of people in Nevada like to hunt. But out here in California, you ain't got a whole lot of people that like to hunt. So it's a whole different ball game. So I don't know that you could kind of, I don't know, maybe if you did it in Nevada or Texas, it could succeed. Out here in California, it would not succeed. There's too many anti-hunters out there. There's a lot of people like hunting. Like I said in the beginning of the podcast, or the beginning of this segment. Something I'll always do, but nonetheless, I don't think it worked, brother. If you banded together with a whole bunch of companies and did something like that, then I think it could work. But, you know, here's the thing. My deal with hunting in, talking about like social media, I just want to get out in the woods and be with my friends or be by myself, not bother anybody. I don't want anybody bothering me, not make a big hustle and bustle about it. Just enjoy my peace and quiet and my alone time on my UTV or on my ATV and just get it done. But I appreciate sending an email, and I think Chris and those guys can have a blast when they get their wrestle crews going. That's actually a pretty cool idea. So I think we'll leave the hunting get-together alone for now. Maybe we'll do it at like a SHOT Show or something like that one of these days. Let's do one more question here before I ride off in the sunset. Hey, Steve, love the show. I never miss a show. Love hearing you break down a match. Would love to hear more of those podcasts. The show helps me through a long commute. Hour and 40 minutes each way. Andy from London, Kentucky sent this email in. God dang, Andy, that's a hell of a damn commute. Swig of beer. He says, I tried a modified keto diet based on your experience and the awesome podcast with Dave Palumbo. I've dropped the beer weight and I'm feeling amazing. Thanks for the inspiration, dude. Never felt better. Hey, man, congratulations. You cut out all the bad things. If you stick with, what you're supposed to eat, do a little bit of exercise, man, the weight can and will fall off. So props to you for that. Question for you. When are you doing round 2 with Mr. Fly? That show may have been the greatest podcast ever. Thanks for 2 doses of audio whoop-ass every week, and good luck finding BSR 2.0. Hope you have a great Christmas. I hope you have a great Christmas too, Andy. Let's talk about that podcast. A couple of years ago, this was right after I first started the podcast, I was down there in Mexico, and we were filming, I think, season 2 of Redneck Island. Might have been season 1, I don't remember. And I didn't have any internet access. I was completely shut down. There was all kinds of, when things break down in Mexico and you're at some like remote island or location, it takes a long time for them to get things running again. So there I was in the lobby, and that fly landed on my nose. And that's when I thought right then and there, hey, man, there's a podcast here of me talking to a fly and end up wrestling a fly, and then I'll call the action like Gordon Soley or Jim Ross. And so basically, my phone just went off. Everybody that heard that shit, just get in line. Oh, everybody, another beer. I'll turn my phone off. I owe you another beer. So I went to my hotel room, and I tell you what, that podcast, I don't listen to my own podcast. That's the only podcast that I've ever listened to, and I probably listened to it about 10 or 15 times because I thought it was that good too. And I did that whole podcast, that whole story, made it up on the fly, no pun intended, right there on the spot. And I thought about it for about 2 hours. I thought about it for about 2 or 3 hours, and I just let it fly. Again, there ain't no pun. And that podcast ended up being one take. I never hit the pause button. I just recorded, and I was on fire because I knew I needed to shit out a podcast to send to the producer at PodcastOne to put together so I didn't miss a date. And so far to date, I've never missed a show in, 4 years. Now, some have been the drizzling shits, but I ain't never missed a show. But anyway, I've tried to think about making, Mr. Fly 2 or part 2 of that. And a few times I've sat down and really tried to put my head to the grindstone or my nose to the grindstone and try to make something of that. But man, it's just not happening. I needed that podcast. It happened for a reason. So if it ever strikes me, I'll come up with part 2. But until then, I think I'm just going to let it roll. I appreciate that question. I don't want to mess with that podcast. That story was too good to fuck up and try to get in another one. Hey, man. I'm going to come back and close down this podcast. I want to thank you guys for sending in your questions, and I want to thank Sasha and Bayley for coming by the crib and shooting the breeze with me a couple of weeks ago.
This is Bulldog Bob Brown. If you want to get...
Just read it.
If you want to get over and stay over, you should check out the new episode of Kill killing the town every Tuesday at PodcastOne.com, the Podcast One app, or subscribe at iTunes. Hey, Geigel, what the hell is iTunes?
All right, everybody, give me the go home cue. So I'm going to wrap up this podcast and ride off in the sunset. But before I do that, I want to thank the legit boss, Sasha Banks, and the hugger, Bayley, for coming by the crib a couple weeks ago and spending some time with me, shooting the breeze. Thank you guys for sending in your questions to questions@SteveAustinShow.com. Hey, man, ProWrestlingTees.com/Steve Austin has all the shirts that I wore this year on the Broken Skull Challenge. And if you go there, if you want one of those shirts, now is the time to get them. They're available now right before Christmas. And the best damn IPA on the planet is Broken Skull IPA at El Segundo Brewing Company. You can get Broken Skull IPA at Whole Foods and Total Wines if you live in California. If you don't live in Cali, check out InsideTheCellar.com and see if they ship to your state. Folks, if you want to give somebody a pocket knife for Christmas, now's a good time to do it. You can find the Cold Steel Broken Skull knife or the new Working Man knife and get them at my new Amazon store. Amazon has the best price on both knives. Just go to Amazon.com/shop/Steve Austin. I got to say one more thank you to all the fine sponsors of the Steve Austin Show. That's how I'm able to do this podcast for you twice a week for free. And you can find all my sponsors at PodcastOne.com. Just click on the Killer Deals button at the top of the page and then click on the Steve Austin Show banner. Folks, until next time, my name is Steve Austin, and I will catch your ass down the road.
Download new episodes of Steve Austin Unleashed every Thursday at PodcastOne.com. That's PodcastOne.com.